This is Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com and AndroidAuthority.com, and today we're going to look at the new Motorola BACKFLIP for AT&T. The device just went on sale a couple days ago. Those of you familiar with the T-Mobile branded Motorola Click, you might notice that the box is the same. It means you grab down here and then you can slide the interior portion of the box out. Right up top we've got the quick start guide and looks like some information on Moto Blur, which is Motorola's system for synchronizing all the different social networking and email accounts on a device. Here's the BACKFLIP itself. You see it has a very unique form factor. It does open up, but it has the keyboard always accessible on the outside right now, which means you have the flash and camera, 5-megapixel camera, integrated into the keyboard, which is a little bit odd. When it opens up, it takes a fairly traditional slab keyboard form factor here. Well, let's stick that aside for now and see what else is in the box, if anything. Probably not going to be too much. We've got USB cable here. I'm going to guess that it's micro USB. Yeah, there it is. Micro USB connector on one end and a regular full-size USB connector on the other. That plugs into this power charger here, just like we saw with the Click, and we will see with the Click XT. Plugs in right in there and goes into the phone, or you can of course just plug it in and charge, just connect through a personal computer of some sort. A little bit of information on the bottom, safety information, probably warranty information as well, some other legal stuff. Nothing too important though. So here's the BACKFLIP, and you can see right front and center, AT&T has a warning about not texting while driving. We've been seeing some advertising campaigns from Verizon along the same lines too, so obviously somebody at the FCC or other government agency must be pushing that right now. Take that protective cover off, and let's take a quick look at the device. So we've got touch-sensitive buttons down here at the bottom here. This is menu, home, and back. Unlike the Click and the Click XT, which have actual hardware buttons, these are touch-sensitive. 3.1-inch half VGA resolution capacitive touchscreen. Not too much to see on the left-hand edge apart from the large hinge, and of course the keyboard is here on the back. You can take a look at it. It's 4 rows, so there's no dedicated number row. Very well spaced out, but almost a little too big in my experience from having used the device a bit before, but we'll get into more of that later. On the other edge of the device, there's the micro USB port for data and charging, volume control, and of course the multi-stage camera shutter button. Press it a little bit to focus, and press it the rest of the way to take the photo. Nothing on the bottom, but on the top we've got a lock power button and a 3.5mm stereo headphone jack. And you can see the folder here. When we open it up, this is the navigation device. Motorola calls it a backtrack. Basically it's like a little mouse trackpad that you use with your finger on the back of the display. Let's pull off the rear cover and get that protective coating off. See, it's a nice metal plate with the Moto Blur logo on the back. You can see there's a battery in the back, pre-installed micro SD card, and of course AT&T also put in a SIM card for us as we're doing the review. Pull out the battery and you can see that it's a 1380 milliamp hour battery, and a 2 gigabyte micro SD card. It's an unusual mechanism here. I haven't seen this from Motorola in the past. Slide this in, then you can slide the card out. Seems to work pretty well. Stick the battery back in, and then we'll power up the device and see what we can get out of it. So here's a default installation with a brand new Moto Blur account. So this is how things are set up by default. You can see there's news widgets, clocks, search, and of course all the social networking stuff that comes with Moto Blur. This widget here allows you to set a status. This is a quick test. And you can see I can post it to multiple services or just one. In this case I'm going to send it to all services. Facebook and Twitter are the ones I have defined. Sorry everybody for the Twitter spam. These are current messages that have come in, tweets from people I follow. My friend Kenny here. You can swipe through them There's one from Mobile Burn. And here's a direct message. I sent this from the Mobile Burn account just so you can see what the direct message looks like. Now messages like that, the direct messages and everything, and text messages also come through the universal inbox. So Twitter direct messages, Facebook private messages, text messages, and email messaging, if you have an email account set up, all can be viewed through the universal inbox, which is kind of cool. You also notice at the top of the screen, I've got another notification for that same text message. All text messages come through with notifications on top, so I could also get to it just quickly by looking at here. Now this message was sent from this test account to itself. That's why you see a duplication there, but you can see it is full IM-like threading, with message bubbles. It's pretty nice looking. I'll flip over to one of the other home screens, and you can see here's one of the entertainment news widgets. And just like the other things we've seen, you can swipe through them. You can tap to get to the full message in the browser. It's also the normal media player. You can control it from here. If you tap on the center selection, it takes you to the media player itself. And go back to the library. You can sort things by artist, album, whatever. There's also support for AT&T Radio, which is a subscription service, though. You can create playlists and do everything that you would expect. Let's pop into the main menu, and I can show you a bit how the backtrack works. Now, that's that little pad here on the back of the device. You can see I'm moving my finger on the back of the display to control navigation. A little odd, and a double tap launches it. Much more controllable than it was when I first used a prototype back at CES, but still a little bit unusual and something you're probably going to have to be careful with. Make sure you don't accidentally touch it while you're just normally handling the device. Let's take a look and see what kind of home screen widgets we have at our disposal. AT&T Music, the typical Moto Blur ones, news, happenings, messages. Happenings handles your social networking stuff. Messaging, is for everything from text messages to email, and news pulls in RSS feeds. And social status allows you to change, say, your Facebook or Twitter status, and of course there's just a generic weather. Let's take a look at what kind of shortcuts we have at our disposal. Applications, but there's an easier way to do that from the main menu. Bookmarks, you already saw some bookmark shortcuts, and there's contacts as well. You can just search for a random contact. We'll grab one of these AT&T ones, and then you can see the shortcut comes up, and then when we tap on it, it goes right into the record, so you could easily send a text message, email message, or call the person. If you want to get rid of something on the screen, you just long press it and drag it into the trash can. Switch over to the leftmost home screen panel. Not much here by default. Android market, we'll go into that later. But we do have Yellow Pages, which is cool. Uses the GPS to find your location, and then you can just type in things and search to find local results. So say I type gas. Let's see what it comes up with. There's Oxford Valley Mobile. You can switch through results. It's a pretty nice application. Doesn't appear to be any kind of subscription fee or anything requirement other than having data on your phone, it's a pretty nice piece of software. You can download other apps from the Android market, of course. browse by type, different sorting options. You can also look through some of the recommended applications. A new SMS client, which would replace the default SMS client. You can search by typing. Let's see. Robo Defense is a really good game. And in general, the installation process and everything, management is quite good. It's pretty easy. It's not as nice as the client you'll see in newer versions of Android. This is only Android 1.5 still, in spite of the fact that it's been around for a long time. MotoBlur just hasn't been updated to the newer versions of Android yet.